Baby, it's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for a spicy anime list review. And you know what? I feel like I'm gonna start off strong today, and I'm just gonna immediately go to here. Here it is, TV show. 100 episode 100. I made it to about almost 150. I pretty much finished the Alabasta arc, and I'm gonna say right now, the pacing is One Piece's biggest enemy. Like, holy crap, man. Who could sit through all of this? Like, we're at like 1,000 some episodes as of this stream, as of May 2023, and it's still going. It's like, what, 99? 24 years strong, and it's still going. Like, a whole generation was born in this time, and grew up to be adults while this was still running. But a lot of people tell me, like, yo, man, look, you gotta, like, give it more time. I said, I gave it enough time. I gave this 130 episodes. I watched as Luffy pummeled his way through Villain of the Week after Villain of the Week till he hit Crocodile in the Alabasta arc. And people say, oh, this is a really cool arc, okay? So, it's not awful, but the pacing is. And this is just strictly an anime review. I heard the manga is way better, but I also don't have the time commitment to sit through like thousands of chapters of how many chapters? Probably at least over 1,000 chapters of the manga, and just, you know, get to that point where we are right now. Like, One Piece is one of those shows that if you didn't start watching it when it first started running, it's like almost impossible to get into like now, because of the barrier to entry is just so absurd. Like, I feel like if the series, and that's a big if the series ever finishes, they need to do like what they did with Dragon Ball Z and make like a shortened version, like, that has, you know, removes all the filler. And I noticed this early too, like, you know, this was definitely done during a time, like, the show was created like during a time when, like, you have far less choices as far as anime and watching goes. You know, these people would like pad out the episodes. And I'm sure even One Piece fans will acknowledge this, that they pad out the episodes. Like, you know, the villain would do one thing, and then, like, it would just cut to, like, a reaction of every single one of Luffy's crew and his friends. And they would just be like, oh my god, oh! Like, you know, just like, oh my god, he did this thing. Like, even though it's, like, really minuscule. Like, the villain could just, like, raise their pinky finger, and then you just get, like, 5 reactions in a row. And, you know, that's maybe, like, 10-15 seconds. But then you stretch that out over like 100 plus episodes into 1,000 plus episodes. That's hours, probably. So I'm gonna kind of be generous, maybe, and give it like a 5, because I'm reviewing this as like an adult. I didn't watch this as a kid, and I feel like the target demographic for this was probably like, you know, when people started watching this, it was probably like kids age like 8 to 14 started watching this. And if you didn't get in on that boat early when this started, it's really hard to get on that now. It's a boat, yeah, pirate's boat, yeah. I didn't even think about that. That was, you know, unexpected pun. I will give it credit that, like, the characters are interesting, the world building is fun, it's wild, though I do have some criticisms about the character design. Like, all the women kind of just look the same. Like, unless they're like, you know, that really fat pirate lady, I forgot her name already, the really fat pirate lady in the beginning, they all just kind of have like the same body shape. Like, they all just look like Nami, but recolored. Like, with just like a hairstyle swap. And that's really about it. Like, I think someone said that, you know, the series eventually becomes like, oh, can you find Nami in like the crowd of women? And it kind of does become like that, you know, because it's just the same body. And all the guys, you know, if they didn't have like such outrageous outfits, you kind of would just like blend in. You either have like normal anatomy, like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, etc., or like every dude is built like a fucking refrigerator with like stubby legs. You know who I'm talking about? Like Blackbeard, yeah, Blackbeard. Like, you know, and I'm sure you can name several other characters that show up that, like, I know of, like, well, I guess Frankie kind of counts. I mean, he's got like these stupid scrawny legs, but like the Brock Lesnar upper body, pretty much he looks like Brock Lesnar. And yeah, like, and then there's the characters, like, the proportions are all over the place. Like, you got like characters that are just normal sized, and then you have someone that's like 20 feet tall. It's like they have like Attack on Titan proportions, like the Titan proportions or something like that. But that's beside the point. Like, I can see the story being good, but your series shouldn't take this long to, like, quote unquote, get good. That's just a huge time investment. Like, I'm gonna pull up a calculator right now and calculate, like, how, like, so I finished the Alabasta arc. It's 130 episodes. Now, if you remove the beginning, the intro, and the outro songs, like the ending and opener, that's probably, like, so you got, like, 24 minutes, you know, and this ran on like television. They had commercials for that 30-minute block. So let's be generous, gives like 6 minutes commercial, 24-minute per episode. That sounds about right. Now you remove like 4 minutes, give or take, for the intro and outro, because it could be like 1:30 to 2 minutes. So let's say you have 20 minutes of actual animation and 20 minutes of actual stuff going on. So you do 100, like, I watched 130 episodes, do 130 times 20 minutes, that's 2,600 minutes. Now let's divide that by, 60 minutes for an hour, that's 43.3 hours. I have spent, like, the entire length of a business week watching this show. And in that time, you could finish, like, a whole other series. Even back when anime ran for like 24 episodes, instead of these shorter, nowadays standard 12 episode seasons, I could have finished like 4 or 5 of them in that time, compared to watching this snail pace with all this like padding of One Piece. And that's just my criticism of it. Like, if I was younger, if I started this when it first started, I might have hit that what people call like the sunk cost fallacy, in which that is like, well, I've already watched everything up to this point, I might as well just finish it. And I'll get to that, because like I kind of did that with Dragon Ball and not One Piece, Naruto. And I really kind of wish I said that for Bleach, but no, I couldn't finish Bleach. At that point it was just too much filler. And hell, even then Naruto became too much filler. But I'll get to that in my reviews as I go. But overall, my thoughts about One Piece: the pacing is its worst enemy, and like I said, this is strictly the anime review, not the manga. It's just too insurmountable to get into if you came in late to the series, and I can see why people like it. It's whimsical, it's got good world building, it's got interesting, like, over the top characters, and some people really like that. I'm not a big fan of that. Maybe in another reality I was a One Piece fan because I started it when it started. But going back and watching this in the original sub version, like, I never watched like the crappy 4Kids dub that everyone, shat on. But watching this as an adult in sub, with all the violence, the smoking, the drinking, etc. in there, it still, that couldn't save me from its really bad pacing. And I feel like if they did like a One Piece Kai, like a Dragon Ball Kai, that would fix a lot of it. But until the series ends, which it may never end, I don't know. Like, I've been hearing that One Piece is ending for years now. That's like George R.R. Martin will have the next Game of Thrones book out anytime now, but it's been like 10 years. So no, I fear the series will end up kind of like what happened with Berserk, where the creator just dies before it finishes, which would be very sad, but that's just what happens when you drag a series out, as long as he has, like, right here. Overall, that's me opening up with my hottest take. Just One Piece is kind of mid because of that. Like, I just can't, man. Just can't.